Yes, we can. Okay, okay. Let me share the screen. Okay. So yesterday we have started with AWS CLI. So there are three ways we can do the resource creation in AWS. So one is through management console. Most of the people use using the console only. So this is the console part. So we can create a easy to easy S3, IMA roles, users, anything. So you can create any activity manually here. You can click the launch instance and we can create the server. So this is we are going to call it as a resource. One EC2 instance is called as a resource in AWS. One server creation, one IMA user. So these are all the things we are going to call it as a resources. So there is an alternative way to create a same kind of a resources using CLI. Okay, so to configure the CLI, we require access key and secret key. Okay, so already we have seen how to configure the CLI for the Ubuntu machine. So in the Linux, so for CentOS machines, it will defaultly comes with AWS CLI. But Ubuntu, you need to manually set up it. Okay, so you need to manually do the setup in the Ubuntu servers. Same thing in on the Windows machine also, we can do the setup. So just we have a .exe file. So CLI.exe file will be there. So you can download from the internet and double click that one. So you will asking the same thing prompt for the access key and secret key. So you can enter the access key and secret key. So how we are performing the CLI through Linux machine, same thing that terminal window will be opened in the Windows machine also. Only the installation part it will be different for the Windows. Okay. So already we have seen how to download the CLI part, like Windows, how to download that package file we have seen in the yesterday's class. Now we will see some more examples on the CLI. Okay, so if you know how to write a one or two CLI commands, so you can easily write the CLI commands for rest of all the services. So entire services we will get it. So which service you are going to work it, like that service name you need to take it. So every CLI command it will starts with appends with AWS. So AWS that service name. So if you are working with S3 or IMA, EC2, VPC, any service you take it, so it will be appended with the service name. So next thing is what action you want to perform it. So if you want to create a EC2 instance, if you want to create a bucket, if you want to create a user, new user, so that function name or the command name, we need to know it. So S3, after that, you want to list off all the files means. Okay, so if you want to copy the files, CP. So to copy the files, there is a mandatory things are there. Source and destination. Source is your local files and destination is your bucket name. So whenever you are appending for your bucket name, what you are using? So like the S3 colon dot slash slash. So this is the which bucket you want to refer it. So why it is referring which it is not region based one. It is a global based one. That's the reason we can put directly S3 colon slash slash. Okay. So source is the file name and destination is the thing, and we can use the copy. So these are the examples we have seen in the yesterday's class. So tomorrow we'll see some other examples and we will go to the other model. Okay. So any doubts, any questions? The CLA part? Okay. So if you see here, already we have configured it. Okay. So if you see AWS S3 is the service, I'm going to list off all the buckets. Same thing if you want to copy the files, anything you want to work it. So we can go to the respective module name. So everybody can't remember the each and every concept, but you know how to run the command. Okay. So if you know anything, we can do it. Okay. Same thing if you want to go to the EC2, AWS EC2 CLI. So there is official website EC2. Okay. Whenever you are seeing the docs.aws.amazon.com, so this is the official website of your thing. Okay. Same thing if you want to create a new EC2 instance here. So the two servers are there. We know how to create and launch the instances. Same thing I want to create a new instance in my particular region. So what is your current region if you want to specify? So this is a EC2 is a region based one. Okay, so how the CLI will understand that I need to create a resources in particular region. So based upon the configuration, what you have taken. So when you do the AWS configure, right? So which region you have configured it, you can see already access key has been provided. So if you press enter, so it will be, if you want to override the value, we need to give the new value. So secret key also, if you want to provide the access key and secret key. So if you don't provide it, just press enter. So if you want to default region name, we have given AP Northeast one. So for each region, we have the region code. If you go for North Virginia, Ohio region, Singapore, Tokyo, any region you take it. So when you're doing an automation kind of a work, when you're doing the CLI, so we directly tell that Tokyo region, we will not pass it. So for each region, there will be unique region code will be there. So if you are doing any kind of automation works, so what we need to do, we need to know the code details. For example, I'm in the Tokyo region. So for Tokyo region, the region code is AP Northeast one. So if you want to create a resources in Tokyo region, so we need to pass the region name as Tokyo. So if you want to go with another region, like Singapore, I want to create it. So if you want to create a resources in Sydney, so if open the Sydney in the new tab, so Sydney will have the new code, AP Southeast 2. So you can copy this, so you can override that value with. Okay, so if you want to create a resources in Sydney region, so the Sydney region will have a specific region code will be there. So you can override the old region code with the new region code. Just enter it, enter. Okay, same thing if you see the configure option now, access key, I don't want to change the secret key. So now you can see AP Northeast one has been replaced with AP Southeast 2. Okay, so like that, which region you want to create it. So the access key and secret key are the root credentials. So it can have the access for all the regions and all access it have it. So that's the reason only in which region you want to create it, just that region we need to override it. Okay, same thing. Now I want to go with AP Northeast one. So like that, I can copy it, override it. Okay, same thing, you can check it. Now the value will be having to AP Northeast one. So like that, in which region you want to create the resources. So we should be in that region. Okay, so like that, we can override the resources. Now, if you want to create EC2 instance, or if you want to do any activity without doing the manual activity in the console side, same kind of things we can create in the through CLI. So now if you want to go to the EC2, you can see these many functions are there. Create, delete EC2 instances. Okay, so which one we need to know it. Okay, so just for the type for the instance. So we are going to create a new instance, right? So we can check the instances. Okay, 68 of 70. You can see these many options are there for the instance creations. So we can choose the which of the best option to create it. So the instance name we need to know it. Okay, so if we go here, run instance is there. So run instance is the one thing to help us to create the instances. So AWS EC2 run underscore instance is the name of the functions. So AWS EC2 is the service name. So this is the command. So what are the parameters it's required? So you can see these many all the parameters it is expecting. Okay, so these many parameters we can pass is optionally. But if you want to create EC2 instances, so you can come a little bit down and you can see some examples how to create a EC2 instances. Examples will be provided. EC2 run instances. EC2 run instances. So these many options we can provide it. So if you don't provide these things also, so like this. AWS EC2 run instances. So image ID. If you want to provide in a single line, we will put slash. So if you want to don't provide like this, we can also provide like this. Image ID. This is the key. This is the value. Same thing if you want to go with instance type. So we can take the instance type value. Okay. Same thing if you want to go with the key name. So we can go with key name and keep a name. Okay. So these are not mandatory fields. If you pass the basic information also, we can create the EC2 instances. So if you want to provide the optional fields also, so we can append the multiple things. Okay. Subnet IDs, security group IDs, public IP address, key names, anything if you want to pass it. All these names, if you want to get it from here, so we need to go to the thing. Okay. So here you can see the image ID. Like this. Okay, so key name, if you don't know the value of this one, so we need to come here and we need to search for the key name. So what is the key name? The value is expecting string. We need to pass the string. If it is integer means, so we need to pass the integer. If it's a Boolean value like 0, 1, true, false will be there, some key values. So we need to identify the correct key value and we need to pass that value. So now we need to go here. Okay, so now what we will do, same thing, if you want to create a resources in this one, just to take any of our AMI ID here. So when you are launching instances, we will get the for each, when you launch the instances, right? So if you want to go with Ubuntu means, okay, so this is called as a AMI ID, AMI slash. So if you want to go with Ubuntu server 20.04 server, so this is the AMI ID. Okay, so this is the AMI ID, AMI slash this one. Okay, so already created one, we can take it. So I want to go with the sample one, so we can get it from the AMI ID. So this AMI ID, we need to copy it. So if you want to go with the CentOS image, for all this region, if you want to go with CentOS image, the AMI IDs will be same. So take this AMI ID and we need to replace the AMI ID here. So if you want to go with instance type, we can go with the instance type. So if you want to go with the key name, so go to your key names, key pairs, you can go with. And what is your key name is there? So this is the key name. You can pass the key name here. That's it. Okay. So everything is a string. So image ID, string, instance type, string, list of values. Name is this. You can come here. Okay. So currently you can go to the dashboard and you can see the number of instances. Okay. So total we have 2 instances are there. Okay. So one is stopped one and is running one. So if you want to create one more instances, so AWS is to run instances, image ID, AMI ID, instance type, and key name. Okay, so just if you pass this one, if you are getting the output, you can see. So the output we put as a JSON, now it got created. Now you can come here and refresh the page. Okay, so one more server is getting created. Okay, so this is the way we can do. Okay, same thing how we are attaching the key pair, how we are doing the manual works, same thing you can see. Okay, so we are not providing any value if we are not providing the security groups or anything new value is provided. So all the default values will be attached. Okay, so if you do any kind of activity, first of all, we should know the CLI. Somebody asks us to write the CLI. So what we need to do? So we need to know the correct method name or the function name, correct the command name, we need to know it. So these are the parameters. So we can pass a number of parameters, it will be supported. And this parameter name we should pass as it is. So I can't pass like this. Okay, so like this one. So this name and all we will get from this particular function. Okay, so if you see the run instances, so the key name is key name, instance type, image ID. Not only these 3 parameters, so it will be supported multiple things. If you want to pass other things also, security groups IDs also if you want to pass it. So I want to pass my own security group, not with the default one means you can do it. Okay. Understand? Understand guys how to launch the EC2 instances?
Yes.
Okay. So any example in the real-time scenario, if somebody asks us to write a CLI thing or script, can you write a sample script for me? So what are the manual steps we are doing it? So just to be same command we'll put it. So 2, 3 comments they are asked it means. So we will put the scripting. So the people who don't know the scripting, don't worry, we will cover that scripting also. Already the people who are heard about the DevOps script. So same thing how we are writing the CLI comments, same thing we can put this into the like this. So these values, if you want to take from the dynamically, so this is the key name. Okay. So if you want to take the input from the user ID means what we will take it, echo, enter, AMI ID. Okay. So we will use read AMI ID. Okay. So if you are passing multiple values, if you are expecting the dynamic values, what we will do from the shell scripting. So we don't want to hard code the values because so we may get the AMI ID from any region. So this script should work in any kind of a region, right? So what we need to do, so we can take the dynamic values. So we will ask for the end user to provide the AMI ID. So he will provide the AMI ID. This value we will hard code the directly here. Okay. Same thing. We will ask echo, enter, instance type. Okay. So they will not, they can pass anything. So read type. Okay. So whatever the variable we are getting it. So we will copy like this dollar symbol. This same thing. If you want to get one more input variables. Enter key name. Okay. So read key name. Okay. So like this, we can pass it. We can take this. Okay. So now this all the things we will put in the script format. Okay. So instead of writing every time, I don't want to hard code it. I don't want to modify the script. Just I want to pass the parameters to the script. Okay. So now this is ready using key name. So we have launched this server through CLI. So we will come and check it. Security groups, all ports connected, 22 port, everything is there. So what we will do now, we will go to here and we'll try to connect this server, whether we are able to connect to the server or not. So we'll go to the new session, give your IP address of new system, SSH, authenticate, browse it, testing one. Okay. So VPC, everything we need to set it. This one, this is same one, right? Let me check the security groups. Try one more time. Yeah. Okay, it's launching. Same thing. Same how we are launching with how we are doing with manual works. Same thing through automation work. If you do it also, so we need to test end to end. So now launching the instance, we have done it through CL. Also, we have launched one server. Okay, so now if you want to do through the script, same kind of a script only. So what we need to do, so Now I'm going to write a script here. So what we will do? So EC2 creation.sh. So we know how to write the script and everything. So nothing we are doing here, just we are same EC2 instances. I want to use the same script for different kind of regions. Okay. So what are the, we are asking for the AMI ID from the end user, instance type, key name. Okay. So if anything problem goes down, it will give error for this. So this is the one way we can write the script here. So when we are executing the script, okay, so it will ask for the AMI ID. So here total 3 servers are there. Now we are going to create one more server. Taking this one. Just enter AMI ID. I'm entering the AMI ID instance type. So T2 dot micro key name testing 1, 2, 3. That's it. So based upon these values, so it is able to create. Just we are running the script, but we are not writing any CLI command. So still, if you are writing the script also, we can provide the dynamic values if it is Ubuntu server anything. So I don't want to hard code it. So just I want to take the input from the users. Now fourth server is also getting created. So if you see the security groups, so 22 port is send default one. Okay. So now you can log into this server also once the server is up and running. Okay. So this is the way. So n number of CLI commands we can write it. So this is the way we can pass the arguments. If you don't want to pass the arguments like this, so here we can put, we can remove entire thing. And there is one more way. $1, $2, $3 like this. Okay. So first argument, script, second argument, third argument. So we can take like this also, we can do it. And we can give clear the screen and we can use. Okay. So this is EC2 params.sh. Okay. So insert it, paste it. So same thing is vanishes the things. So immediately we are passing the first argument. This is second argument. So after the second argument, there should be space. Okay. So key name, we are passing third argument. So if you want to run the same script, instead of taking the input from user also, I don't want to take it. So just like this, EC2 params.sh, we can take it. And first argument is, so we have total 4 instances are there. So now you take any instances. First argument is AMI ID. Okay. Second argument is your instance type. Third argument is space. We need to give it testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. So like this also we can execute the script. So dynamically we can pass the AMI IDs and everything. Okay. So currently we have 4 instances are there. Now I'm going to create one more instance. Okay. So just for our understanding purpose. So this first server. This is second server. So now we are going to create a third server. Okay. So just run the script here. It got created one more server. Just refresh the page. Fifth server, it's getting created. Okay. So these many ways we can execute the script. So once you understand the scripting concept, like already some people has heard about the Devops thing. So if you want to make the entire thing as automation script for your entire infra, so you can also do through shell scripting and you can do it. Okay. So like that, we can put multiple commands. So you test manually first, you will test it. So then we will implement entire input for your thing. So don't directly do the environments. So first try to implement in your local machine or local AWS account and try to implement the same in the real-time scenarios. Okay. So like that, we can also pass through script based. Not only this command. So if you want to create IMA user, anything user, so sequence of lines of commands you can put in the script itself. Okay. So manager will just execute the script. Or if you want to pose the input parameters or some Excel sheet is there. So Excel sheet, I want to create 100 users at a time. So in Excel sheet, we'll put 100 users. So how to read a file in Excel sheet in shell scripting, we will write it. So for loop will run it and we'll read the list of users. And same AWS is IAM. create user, we will pass that 100 users. Okay, so instead of creating manually 100 users through script, we will do so fastly we can do it. Okay, so that the use of scripting. Okay, understood, guys? Any doubts, any questions?
Sir, how many instances we can create at a time for the automation?
Yeah, 10 instances we can create it, 20 instances if we want to create it. So when we are launching the instance, right? So we have a parameter like count here, number of instances. One, right? So we need to check for the same thing in this one, number of instances. Okay, so number of instances, we need to check it. Launch the specified number of using AMI, get specified number of options. So we need to come here. We need to check the count. So we can take the count variable here. So search for the count variable. So how it will be. Number of instances, right? Okay, so hyphen count, we can pass it. So the number of instances to launch, if you single number is provided, it is assumed to minimum to launch one. So same thing we can do. So here, what we will do, so we will open the same script, EC2 params.sh. So key name instead of after key name, what we will do, so we'll pass one more argument, count. So here I'm providing 3. So if you are providing count means same kind of instances, you should create 3. Okay, otherwise you can put count as a $4th argument. So save the file. So same thing we can. Okay, so here I'm giving 3. So number of instances, how many are there currently? So we can go here. Total I have 5 instances are there. So now 3 instances has to be created. Just we need to know the parameter name. It is a string is expecting. Okay, so default is 1. So number of rules, second is parameter maximum number of instances to launch. So we'll try this one. Okay, now you come here, refresh it. Okay, 3. Okay, so if you want to launch the same kind of instances, number of instances 3 means, so I'm providing the 3. So 3 more new instances get created. Okay, got it? Understood?
Yes,
Okay, so first, this is the module only. First of all, we need to understand the requirement first. So then we need to go to the like, what is your correct module name? Like EC2 run instance is the for creating instances based upon the requirement. So what are the parameters we need to pass from here? So we need to understand it and we need to create it. Okay, so based upon the things, if you are creating it, they will ask some certain changes. So what we need to do? So we'll keep on updating adding the parameters we need to do. So if you ask it for the security groups, so we need to pause security group. I want these security groups should be added. So we need to go to the security group IDs. Okay, so hyphen security group IDs, we can pass it. So if you want to pass the list, more than one means we need to pass hyphen security groups. So if you want to group only the list means we can take it. Okay, so like this, it is expecting string and list like this. So if you come a little bit down, so if you want to go with the security group like this. So every example will be provided for you. Just we can add like this. So this command, if you want to run in a single line, multiple lines means we will append the slash. So if you want to put in the single line means we can write like this. So if you want to write this in second line, we will put hash image ID slash this micro slash like this. Key name like this. Okay. So if you want to put in the multiple lines for our understanding, easy way. So we need to append the slash here. Okay. So like that, any task is given for you. So first of all, we should know the which module, what is the correct function name or the command name, and these are the parameters. Okay, so dynamically we can pass it, hard coded we can do it, manually if you want to do it, or expecting the dynamic prompt from the user, anything you can do it. So finally they will see the output what they are expecting it. Okay, so you can test a number of times in your local, but once you confirm it is working fine, then only we can implement in the real time. Okay. So this is the way we can do the CLI activities. So any service they can do it. So we need to know it. Okay. So most of the questions they will ask only from the EC2 and S3. Okay. EC2, S3 and IMA. So they will ask about the CLI commands. Okay. So if you want to upload the file, if you want to download the file, if you want to copy the file from local to here. Okay. How to create EC2 instances. Okay. So same thing we need to tell that. So everything model we need to do based on your understanding you did. Okay. So this is the way just we can implement the CLI things. Okay. So now these are the servers not required. One server. Just update it. Okay. So now in urgent cases, like if you are not the admin person, I don't have admin access, but still the requirement we get it, we need to test it. So we don't have access to our local AWS environment. So this is my local AWS account. This is my personal AWS account. I don't have access to this personal AWS account. I don't have access in my company network. Okay. So there is a requirement. We got it. We need to perform some CLI commands. We need to write some script. I need to test it. But if you want to get the access key and secret key, so I'm not the admin person. I need to send an email to the admin person. Then he will provide it. So the whole process, it will take at least 1 day or certain hours it will take it. So you can't configure the CLI and you can't test the entire functionality. So in that cases, what we can do, so without access key and secret key, if you want to do the functionality like testing part, so there is a one more module called Cloud Shell. Okay, so this is a Cloud Shell. If you go to this Cloud Shell service, so without having access key and secret key, so we can also perform directly CLI commands. Close it. So let the environment be created. So you don't need access key and secret here. So if you want to do the temporary testing for your particular this AWS, this network, for this particular region, if you want to do it directly, we can perform the directly with it. So no need to configure your access key and secret key, no need to set up anything. So if you want to perform any CLI commands without configuration, anything, only the main disadvantages of the Cloud Shell is, so this is not available for all the regions. Okay, so Cloud Shell is available only for few regions. Okay, it is not available. Okay, so if you go for other regions also, Oregon, Mumbai, Sydney. Okay, you can see Cloud Shell is there. But if I go to the Singapore region, so now I'm opening the Singapore region. Okay, so Cloud Shell is available in here. You can see Northeast one, US East West 2 is there. One comes to the Singapore region. So this is Singapore region. So here I'm typing the Cloud Shell. Okay, you can see that Cloud Shell is not available in Singapore region. So please select another region. Okay, so Cloud Shell is also a region-based one service. So when you see the Cloud Shell activity, so if you are working in the Mumbai region, if the Cloud Shell will be supported, you can see only out of these regions we have 11 regions only supporting the Cloud Shell. So remaining, if you are working in Singapore region, if you want to test in the Singapore region, so we have only access for the Singapore region, not other regions means. So in that cases, we don't have the Cloud Shell. Okay. So in the real-time scenarios, you are working only for the North Virginia and Ohio region. Okay. So we need to come and check it whether the North Virginia, Ohio region, we have the Cloud Shell. So we can directly go here and perform the AWS commands. AWS IMA list -users. Okay, like this. So any command, scripting command, anything if you want to do it. So all the activities we can do it. Okay, same thing if you go for something S3. Okay, so until this terminal is there, so you can see that nothing is there. So we can open echo hello into test.txt. So just I'm adding some content in some file. Okay, so this file you want to copy to S3 to test the functionality. What we will do? So we will go into AWS. So I want to copy something to OK region. We don't have any file here. Okay, so if you refresh the file, so we don't have anything. So this is the bucket name. So you can take the bucket name and AWS S3 copy. So source is this one. So destination is S3:/ that bucket name. And so if you pass the bucket name, it will not work. So what are the file name you are copying? So that file name also we need to specify. Okay. So whatever the source file name you are putting it, so that file name should be placed after the bucket name. So once you do it, okay. So upload is done. You can come here and refresh the page and check it. Okay. So March 2nd, 7:41. So 1 minute back, it's got copied. Okay, so you can run the same command n number of times. You can modify the file, you can do the n number of changes. Same command will never change. Only the source file and the while uploading the destination. So bucket name and the object name we need to update it. Okay, so we can open the file, we can update the file. Okay, somebody if you want to do the same thing. So same file I can upload here multiple ways. I can click on the upload, add files or folder, we can upload it. So we can go to the downloads keys, we can take it like this. Okay, so like that we can go here, we can upload. This is a manual work. Manually we are uploading it. So but if you same through, if you want to upload through CLI, so we can do the CLI. So if you want to practice the things without access key and secret key, if you are feeling that secret key access key is not sharing with us, so sometimes if you want to do the functionality, so just I want to move the script to the higher environments. So I have tested it fully. You want to test it in lower environments. So we can go with the Cloud Shell. It is no need to configure anything, access key and secret key. Directly we can perform our CLI commands here. Okay, so what are the run instances? Everything you can do the thing. Okay, same thing. You can copy it, you can run it. Okay, so text copied, we need to put in the single line. Delete. That's it. Okay, same thing you want to test it, just copy here. Okay, so if you see here currently 8 instances are there. So if you want to run the same thing, run instance image ID, instance type key name, space, do it. Okay, it got created. Okay, now you can come here, refresh the page. Now this is getting created. Okay, so we need to create pending one. Okay, like that. Okay, so this Cloud Shell also, like if you want to troubleshoot or if you want to work out or if you want to test something, so without depending upon access key and secret key, so instead of asking somebody to share the access key and secret key, so temporarily if you want to test your functionality, what are the logical tasks they have asked with, So you want to practice on your own one, we can do the things. Okay. So like that, we can create EC2 instance through particular, we require a server. Okay. If you don't have the permission to the launch instance also, we don't have access to the server also. So once we have the server only, we can do the AWS configure, access key, secret key, region details, we can provide it. So if you don't have the access to the CLI, so directly we can go to the Cloud Shell. If you have the access to the Cloud Shell, so directly we can test everything and we can perform all the CLI commands itself. But this region should have the Cloud Shell permissions. Okay, got it? Understood? So once you save it, once you close this one service, so it will, whatever the work you have done, it will be gone off. Okay, it's a temporary terminal. You can do it. Okay, how many times you want to open the shell, you can open the shell and you can perform it. Okay, so not only this one, so we can perform the script also. Okay, so what are the script you have written like this? So what are the image and instance type you can take it? So scripts also we can write it. Here it will be supported script also, everything it will be supported. Okay, so something like sh. Right. So VI. Okay. So hope you understand the concept of the shell, CLI differences, a CLI thing, shell and IAM. Okay. Any doubts in these three parts, guys? Okay. So our ultimate goal is to, for all these activities, our ultimate goal is to create the resources. Okay. IMA users creation, CLI, any resources we can create it through automation like CLI, through script we can write it, or manually you can run the commands without logging to the console. So manually, what are the things you are performing it? So all the things we can upload it. So if you are uploading the objects, if you are deleting the object, anything you performing it. So if you want to delete the instance also, we can delete it. So just we need to go to the AWS EC2 CLI. Go to here, search for delete. Let us take this one. Same thing if you want to perform starting, stopping instances, terminate instances. Okay, so we can go to the terminate instances command. So this is the way we can go to the AWS EC2 terminate instances. So here it will be supported instance ID. You can pass the instance IDs. This is the parameter. Okay, so now we can go to the, we have 9 instances, all are terminated, but 2 are running. So I want to delete these instances. So this instance ID is this one. So we can pass the, okay. So if you want to see the example here, you can come a little bit down. So you can see they will pass the instances. AWS EC2 terminate instances, instance ID equal to instance ID like this. So you can go here and check it. So currently this is running one. Okay, so we can go to the Cloud Shell instead of going here. Every activity we can performing it, not only the single activity, manual activity which are performing it. So we can perform everything. Okay, so now open this command just to copy it. You can check the server here. Okay, otherwise we can go to the EC2 dashboard, only instances running, we can take it. Filter is running, only 2 instances are running. So one is Linux session, another one is 5A809. This server is running. So if you refresh the page also, it is still running. So I haven't executed the command. So just now I'm executing the command. Okay. So you can go to the other regions also. Sydney. Restart. Okay, so the terminal is ready. So same thing now, 2 instances is running. So I want to perform the same activity. I want to terminate the instances. So just we need to come here and we need to. Okay, so if you are facing any problem with the Cloud Shell, come to the Actions tab and restart it. So if you are unable to create the file or anything, so just reset the shell. So it will come to the starting state. So you can apply this. Okay, enter the following requests or hyphen instance IDs. Same thing over, right? Okay, it is 2 dashes. Go here. Okay, so terminating instances, it is done. So you can refresh the same thing. Now it is showing only the running state is 1 only because it got changed to the shutdown. Okay, it is getting terminated. So manual works which are going here and selecting the server and terminating it. So we can do through the command line also. Okay, so like this. Okay, so in this way we can perform any activity through manual activities which are doing through console. So we can do the same activity through either Cloud Shell, we can use it, either we can use the CLI. Okay. Any doubts? Any questions, guys? Okay, so that's all for today. So tomorrow we'll start with new service called EC2. Okay, so bye guys.